Haikyuu, so how are you all doing, ladies and gentlemen? So Game of Thrones Season 8 Episode 3 just finished, and honestly I have to say it was a very, very fun episode. A very, very fun episode. I know some people will be like, it's a very depressing episode. I actually think it was a very, very fun episode. My criticism is, though, it was a very dumb fun episode. That's my biggest issue with this episode. Now let's talk about the good things first before we talk about the bad things, alright? Good things. First 15-20 minutes, I felt the dread. The characters had, the characters were shocked, surprised, worried. They had fear on their faces. I felt that. I thought they did a very, very good job right away from the get-go to establish the mood. Better than even previous battles. My favorite battle so far of the show being the Battle of Black Waters. This one was very, very close to that. I thought that this one nearly surpassed it, but I'll get into why it didn't for me personally. But I thought, the mood especially, it set the mood very, very well. I thought they did a very good job with that. When I was watching the first 15 to 20 minutes, I actually thought, wow, I'm afraid. I'm afraid. So that was a great job. That was an excellent job. And you know what? Well done. Another thing that I really, really liked, I liked the whole battle. Honestly, I liked it and disliked it, but let's just stick with the positive for now. I liked it because we saw our characters do something, and it wasn't the case of our characters are the good guys, so they're gonna win. So they're gonna win their individual battles. That wasn't the case. You had a lot of tiny moments while the battle was going on. For example, Clegane, Mr. Clegane, let's put that Mr. in his name. When he saw the fire, we saw his reaction to the fire as well as to obviously the dead. That was nice. We saw a lot of characters that have their certain traits. Those traits come to the front, and I really, really like that. It seemed like all the followers of the Lord of the Light are now gone from how it ended. It seemed like all the followers that we've at least known, of course, there's still the Grand Priest of Ashai, but in terms of the followers of the Lord of Light that we've seen in the show, that we've actually followed, it seems like they're all gone now. They're all perished. There's a few things that bothered me. I'll get into that right now, actually. You know what? Because the episode as a whole was just very, very good. I could talk about the episode as a whole just being good. That's the positive. But let's actually talk about the negatives here. First of all, and that was the thing that I was like, what on earth are you lot doing, right? And that's why this episode was dumb fun and not great fun. It wasn't intelligent fun. It was just dumb fun. Who on earth came up with the battle plan? Who on earth came up with such a stupid battle plan, right? Send out the friggin' Dothraki, right? I mean, only a fool would battle an army of Dothraki on the open field. Yeah, but only a fool would send an army of anything, even Dothraki, out in the middle of the night when they can't see anything and just go just go and attack. Our enemies, they're the dead. They're basically controlling snow and ice and everything. They're the personification of snow and ice. But you know what? Just head out into the dark. Just go out and attack. Who came up with that idea? Who was stupid enough? What they needed was a battle commander. Honestly, if we compare this siege with the siege of Castle Black, you had traps, you had certain areas people were defending, you had everything. Here it just seemed like, okay, we've got numbers, let's just send them out. The Dothraki, they were there, they died within 5 seconds. First 5 seconds of the battle, they died. It was great in establishing, obviously, that the people that they're facing are a massive threat. But it was the stupidest decision I've seen in my life. It's basically it seemed like the Dothraki were basically just there for the battle last season, and that was it. And this season, there's their feed for the pigs. Yeah, that's basically what it seemed like. And it's really, you've built all these weapons. Can't you instead of having an army outside? Fair enough, have an army outside, right? But your main forces should be archers. You've got a castle for a reason. It's a siege. That's why it seemed like such dumb fun. It was fun watching it. It was entertaining. But it's when you actually think about it, you're like, why on earth are they doing this? You'd imagine there's Dothraki being around the castle, defending the castle. But anyway. That was my biggest criticism right off the get-go. Like, right as the episode started, that was my big criticism. The dragons, I also thought the dragons, they were cool, but they really didn't do anything. Even like the ice dragon didn't really do anything. Was basically just there, chasing John. John somehow escaped all that. I don't know how, but he somehow did. And then just before he's about to die, saved. Let's talk about characters who died. Characters who died. Lady Mormont. Actually, the Mormon bloodline died. I found that was very interesting. Jorah and LOTGH, he was the protector. It seemed like all the protectors actually died. He was the protector of the Mormonts. He was the protector of Dany, and for him to go out like that, I thought was beautiful. Like giving his life giving his all until the very end. I thought, you know what, this guy, he took out a Dothraki blood rider, but he's gone through so much. Betrayed her, not betrayed her, fought for her, grayscale, had that removed, all for her, and he came back and he was there till the end, and it was beautiful. Alright, it was absolutely beautiful. You know what, I wasn't the biggest fan of Jorah Mormont, just because he was a great character in terms of like a great protector, but besides that, he really didn't have much more to his character. But props to you. And I don't like. I guess I didn't like him in the show as much because if it wasn't for him, basically the show axing Barristan Selmy, I would have wished for Barristan Selmy to be here right now because he's had so much history with everything, but he died the second Jorah came back because they're like, we can't have too many advisors to the Queen, and we need to have let's get rid of one. Let's just axe Barristan Selmy. So that was great ending to a character that I liked, but not all that much. I just liked. Lady Mormont, I thought she went out beautiful. A tiny little girl taking out a massive giant. Props. Going out like that, props. It just shows you how strong her character was. She was like, I'm gonna fight as well. I may not be a great fighter, but I'm gonna fight because I'm going to protect my homeland. And she died protecting homeland. Now that giant, there was only one for some reason. I thought they would have more. But it just shows you that even tiny little girl can take out a giant. In her case, if she dies as well. But the point is, even a tiny little girl can take out a giant with enough heart and courage. And you know what? That's a great message. She was a great character. I think everyone liked her to an extent. She seemed like a little of a brat this season, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter all too much. All right. Arya. Okay, let's talk about the good and the bad. Arya for me is the reason why I can't put this battle above the battle of Blackwater, and here's why. Arya was cool in this episode. We had her sneaking around everything in the library, everything. That was great. We had her with the arrows and everything. That was great. We had her with a spear and her weapon. We saw her with a weapon for a few seconds. That was great. She was great. One of my favorite characters of the show. I think my favorite used to be Varys, but not anymore so much because they're not giving him anything to do, right? He's just there. You see him every 5 seconds just so you can see his bald head, and that's pretty much it, right? But she's one of my favorite characters right now. And the thing is, I like and I dislike how they brought it back with what do we say to death, not today. Sticking with the pointy end. All of that, right? I like how they brought it back. But I didn't think she should have been the one to finish off the Night King. I don't think that should have been the case. And the reason for that is very, very simple. Jon, as much as he is just a goody two shoes character. Right? I like him as a character, but he's a goody two shoes character. Let's not get that wrong. But he's been dealing with the White Walker, the Night Kings, and the Whites for 8 seasons. Right? 7 seasons. All right. He's been dealing with them for 7 seasons. All right. 8 actually. Now that I think about it. But he's been dealing with them for 8 seasons. He has a history with them. Right. I think it would have been better if he was the one, because Arya, she, again, she has so much relationship with death. faceless men, so on and so forth. The whole character is really based around death. I'm not afraid of death. I'm looking forward to seeing his new face today. All that. And so I understand why they would do that, but I still think it was the wrong person. I still think it was the wrong person. And I know Aya probably has the most fans out of everyone, which I can totally understand why, but I still think it was the wrong person. And the thing is, right, the Night King, we never really got to see him do anything. He had the ice sword, he never really fought. He had the dragon, the ice dragon. He was there for 5 seconds on a battle with the dragons, and that was it. He really just seems, honestly, he really just seems like a wasted character, and that's the reason why I didn't want Aya to do it. I actually wanted him to win. I thought before the battle started, I was like, they don't have any chance because he can just revive anyone like that. And then, when it was showing us that everyone's dying and whatnot, I was like, yeah, good, he's gonna win. And the reason why that's good is because that will give a reason to actually bring Cersei on board, sort of, right? But it ended up being that he was taken out within 5 seconds by Aya, and that's for someone that we've been waiting for them, right? The first scene of the first episode, we see the White Walkers. And for them to be taken out this quickly. The Whites, the whole time the battle was going on, they were fighting. They were like, yeah, we're going in, we're doing this, we're doing that, right? That's cool. But for the White Walkers themselves and the Night King, we didn't even see them. They literally just showed up in the last 5 minutes to be killed. And that's my worry. That's my big negative of this episode. If this episode was another 20 minutes longer, I still wouldn't have liked Aya to take him out. I would have preferred John to take him out because, again, he has the history. Or somebody from Castle Black, right? But Aya just got no real connection. That's my issue. For me, what should have happened was that Aya would take out the dragon, the ice dragon, the dragon that's been turned into the dead dragon, right? For me, she should have took him up because, again, she is she's always been, her and Tyrion, they've always been dragon fans. They've always been obsessed with dragons. She's always been obsessed with dragons. She's always read histories, read the books, she's read everything about dragons, right? So for me, she should have gone after the dragon, and John should have gone after the Night King. I think that would have been much better. Also, my worry is that my thing is, how did she even get there in the first place? How did she sneak by everyone in the first place? I know she's an assassin, but we saw how much trouble she had in the library. In terms of characters that died, though, Theon. You know what? Theon went out like a king. And all the protectors went out like the king. Jorah Mormont went out like a G. Theon went out like a G. His death was heartbreaking. For a character that at first you're like, yeah, who cares about him? And then later on you're like, well, I hate this guy. Then you're like, I pity this guy. And now you're like, you know what? Greyjoy for life. He's not Euron. Not quite. He's not quite there yet. But Euron. I'm talking about Euron in the books, of course, not in the show. But he was great. He was great. But yeah, episode as a whole was flipping fantastic. It was a lot of great fun, but that doesn't mean that it didn't have its problems. And the ending certainly was a problem. It was shocking as flip. I was like, what? But honestly, I don't think it should have been her. I really don't think it should have been her. If if she was on Castle Black and every time Jon met a White Walker and whatnot, she would have been there, and then she still would have gone through the death journey, then I would have been like, yes, it should be her. But I just feel like narratively it shouldn't have been her. I think she should have gone after the dragon, personally. Great episode. Great friggin' episode. Jaime is still alive, so... And we still got Clegane Bowl. Clegane Bowl! which is going to be fun. That next episode looks like quite a lot of fun as well, but could have been better. Could have been better. Honestly, could have been better. I also find it shocking. Again, they were taken out in one episode. They were taken out in one episode like that. 8 seasons for one episode. You know, no. It's a little bit of a letdown, but also it was shocking. So I went with the shock value. I almost feel like they didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to beat them, so they were like, you know what? Let's just do the most shocking thing. You know, then people will stop questioning, you know, whether that should have been whether this should happen or not. Let's just make it shocking, and then they'll focus about the shocking thing and not whether it should make sense or not. I feel like that's definitely what went on here. Regardless, though, folks, I will see you all next time, everybody. Good episode. What did you all think, though? Did you all like it? Did you dislike it? I'm sure a lot of you will be like, you think there are faults with this episode? Disliked, which is fine. Yeah. But I'd much rather hear your opinion on this episode than just see a dislike. It really doesn't matter, but at least that way I know what you liked and what you disliked about the episode. Regardless, folks, I will see you all in the next one, everyone. Peace out and have a nice day.